Welcome to the Preschool AllStars podcast. I'm your host, Joy Anderson, and today we are going to tell you how you can sign up 7 students in just 2 days, just like our friend Teresa. Teresa, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you, Joy.
Okay, girl. So you are brand new to Preschool AllStars, but you are not new to finding success. So before we hear the epic story about how you just started a preschool in like a couple days, let's go back. Tell me, who were you and what were you doing before you came into my world?
Okay, well, gosh. Well, I am currently a magnet director in my school district. And before then, I was a principal. So I'm not new to education, but I am brand new to owning my own preschool.
Nice. Okay. Now, what were some of the things that you were struggling with before you found out about us?
Well, definitely having a lot of fear about stepping out on my own because it's really easy to kind of get into the mindset of, having this steady job, this steady paycheck, having the comfort of this 9 to 5, and then just having this fear of stepping out on my own. But I've been watching you for a while. So I was like, okay, Joy knows what she's doing. She has much success with all these women. Like, I've been watching you for like a year and a half, and I'm like, I could do it, but I need the right person to lead me. And I just took that step about 3 weeks ago.
Right?
And joined you.
Okay. This is
Mhm.
crazy. So you've seen me around for like a year and a half or so. What work have you done in that year and a half? Did you get my book?
I did. So I got your book last maybe September,
Okay. And
and
did
I,
you
I
read it?
read the
I'm going to
book.
put you on the spot. You read it? Okay.
I did. No, I read it like in a day and a half or something.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I read it really quickly, but I didn't join right away. I was still, really nervous
Yeah.
about stepping out. And so I didn't join AllStars right then. I did like the challenge, but didn't do it with fidelity right then. And then when I saw you starting to put some things out, I was like, this is my chance. Let me jump at it before I miss my opportunity again.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So you read the book. Now, so you hadn't done the challenge before coming into our group. You didn't do it necessarily in the free group or anything.
Right. I did maybe like a day or so, but I got really nervous when I knew I was going to have
Right?
to post something. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not
I
ready to
feel that.
post.
Yeah, no, I
Mhm.
get that. And I think talk more about what that feels like being on the outside, because you know what it feels like to be on the outside of All Stars and now on the inside of All Stars. Two
Right.
different feelings, two different kind of
Yeah.
experiences.
Absolutely. On the outside, you're kind of looking at it and you're seeing that, okay, the system looks really solid. The book had lots of material, it had lots of details. You could see the success stories. I was following your vlog, and I could see the women were having great success. So I knew it was going to work.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that I just didn't know if I was ready to make that step.
I love that. Okay, once you jumped into All Stars, which again is
Mhm.
still a huge decision because, it's not only like jumping into a new program, but it's also like committing to yourself that okay, I'm jumping in and I'm going to do this. Once you got in, tell us about your experience here. Like, how is it different than being on the outside?
Well, as soon as I got in, I feel like the next day you had us in like a session with Sistars, and I just felt like I was enveloped by so much support
Mm.
immediately. And the Facebook group was very detailed and very supportive. And then all the step by steps, it was like you can't get it wrong because it was just all laid out for you.
I love
So all
that.
you had to do was watch the videos and follow the steps.
Yeah. And the Sistar Circles are something brand new that we literally just implemented in
Oh,
February. You're the
okay.
very first group that we did that with. And I tell you, your guys's connection right now to each other and to the content and to knowing how to get help and asking for help, it's phenomenal. It's completely different than other cohorts we've ever had before. So we're super loving it. So I'm glad that you mentioned it too. Okay, so
Yes.
then you jumped in, you started doing the work, you found
Mhm.
the step-by-step guides and everything.
Mhm.
You'd already experienced day 1 and day 2-ish of the Founding Family script, the 7-day challenge. Now, once you were going through it inside of All Stars, did it feel different? Did you feel different going through it?
Yeah, I did. I felt confident. Again, just following the videos. I almost felt like there was like a gentle wind behind me. So I was like, okay, here I go. I just kept going and going. And before I knew it, I was at the script and I was like, okay, I could do this. And then when it came to the point where I was going to post, I didn't feel like I needed to like pause at all. I felt ready.
Mm,
And so I just jumped.
yeah, I love
Mhm.
that. Now, right before you posted the script, you'd actually finished your website because the step right
I
before the
did.
script is to do your website. And that's with the hub. What was your experience with that? Did you enjoy the
Yeah.
process building your website?
It was super simple.
Yeah.
It was,
Cool.
it could not have been easier.
I
I
love
was
hearing
like,
that.
okay.
That's
And I
awesome.
think because we built the website first, it made it, maybe I had more confidence that the
Mm,
founding families would be able to find that I was more legit because I
right.
already had my website done.
Yeah, totally. Because sometimes they ask that when we're doing the live challenge, usually in October, April, people will ask, like, but what people are asking, like, oh, but what's your website? I want to like know more about you. And typically we have to tell them we're still in the process of building, so we don't have a website. But you, if they needed to ask, you certainly could point them in that direction. Okay, now
Mhm,
let's dive back into it's the day, the day to post the script.
mhm.
You clicked enter. Tell me what
Yes.
happened. I know that I was following up with you. I was like, hey, did you get any signups? Not yet.
Right.
Got some interest. So walk me
Right.
through that. What happened?
Right. So it was like 6:45 on a Sunday, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm supposed to do this before 7. Do I
Right.
wait or do I go? And so I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. I
Yeah.
did all the directions, and then I babysat the Facebook post for a while, and immediately people are like, congratulations, congratulations, but not much more than that.
Hmm.
So then I started seeing people drop in the DMs like, hey, can you tell me more? Oh, I'm interested. How do I find out more information? So then I just started nurturing those conversations. And that's where the magic started happening in the DMs.
Yeah. Now that's one
Mhm.
of the places where a lot of people get really nervous because it's one thing for somebody to be in like, I'm awesome, or not, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. No, for somebody to come in and say, I'm interested. Where's the link so I can go grab my kid's spot? Or maybe they already knew you. So they're like, yay, you finally did this. I want to enroll my kid. Those are like the easy convos. But I think a lot of times people get tripped up on the more difficult convos, the ones where they're like, well, they have more hesitation. They don't really know you. Like, navigate us through some of those convos and like what you found
Right.
helpful. Like, what were the things people were asking? How did you respond?
Right. Well, actually, the first person who signed up was a former teacher of mine who knew me, but I
Yeah.
felt like her expectations were super high because she knew me as well.
Ooh,
And
okay.
so she was like, okay. So she had like a million questions at first. And so I was like answering them. And then she started calling me because she had my personal number. I was like, wait a minute. Now I had to start setting boundaries already. So
Ooh.
I was answering questions, but then I was like, you know what? Let's take a step back. How about I call you tomorrow during the business day? So I automatically had to start thinking of myself as a business owner. Like,
Mm,
I can't be up at 10 o'clock at night just talking to families.
yeah.
So, how would I act as a business owner of
Yeah.
the preschool? Some of
Hmm.
the other women, the mothers who were inquiring questions, did not know me at all. They had found out about me from mothers and mother groups that my friends were kind of posting in and sharing my post in,
Yeah.
and they didn't know anything. And so they were a little more easier. They were just kind of like, hey, this sounds great. Can I have a little bit more information? What days of the week? They just kind of wanted to know the basics.
Right.
And so that was an easier, kind of easier sell because they
Yeah.
just kind of wanted to know the basics.
Mm.
A few, I was like, hey, I'm giving you a sneak peek at my website. And I kind of sold it as like, you're getting an insider look.
Oh,
It's
I
a
love
sneak.
that.
And so I was able to kind of, grab them in just because they
Yeah.
felt privileged to get a sneak peek as well.
Yeah. And then of course they see a good looking professional website that they're like,
Yeah.
oh snap, come on, this girl's legit, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm like, it's
That's
in draft
awesome.
form. They're like, oh, this is draft. Okay.
Well, for a draft, it looks like it's
Yeah. The
final.
draft is great. Yeah. Right.
I love that.
So,
So it's almost like it wasn't quite published yet, but you're like, hey, here's the draft version. That's cool. I love that. Um,
mhm,
Now you mentioned mom groups. I know that I also teach that strategy, but some people still really struggle with like, but what do I say in a mom group? Because sometimes we can't post links. And so how do
right.
I not get kicked out? What mom groups were you posting in? What are your strategies
Yeah.
there?
And I didn't post in there, but my friends who were already members were posting in there for
Oh,
me.
so were they sharing your post
Mhm.
into the group?
Mhm.
Okay.
They were. And so, yeah, I'm not already in those groups, but my
Yeah.
friends who already had friends in those groups were already kind of like sending those links in there.
Awesome. So they were
Yeah.
sharing your post, which was on your Facebook profile,
Mhm.
sharing it into a group. Was it like your local community group or was it just a generic moms group on the internet?
It, I think there were local groups, but they're around the state. So there were some, I live in Columbia, South Carolina. So I have some moms who are in the group who are in Charleston
Okay.
because it was shared in a Charleston mom group.
And is this an online preschool that you're doing?
Yes.
So nice. Listen up, everybody. Even if it's an online program, you can still share it into local Facebook groups because those usually are a little bit more lenient with businesses and links and things like that. Versus if you're going more global with just like an online moms group, they're pretty strict about what they allow because it's so many people in there. But I love that. I mean, why not go post in a bunch of local groups because you can still serve them even if they're not local to you. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So people started like communicating. Now, when did you like lock down your first one and like get the money and how did you feel?
Right. The first one came that second day. So the
Okay.
first night, nothing at
Yeah.
all. Went to bed. I was kind of like, okay, I'm not giving up hope.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be better. And then the first sale was that second day.
Mm.
And all the sales came that second day.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally that second day.
So
Yeah.
sometimes people post and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
no DM saying let's go, right? And you get a little
Mhm.
bit
Yeah.
disappointed, but you got to work the script, right? You got to keep it
Right. Right.
active. Yeah.
Right. And those that I didn't hear from, that I got interest but didn't hear from,
Oh,
I the next day was like, hey, just following up, just want to make sure that you didn't have any questions. If you do, just reach out to me today. Seats are going fast.
yes. Oh, I
And
love
that
that.
kind of kept them like, oh, okay, no, we're still interested. Let me talk to my
Yeah.
husband.
Yeah,
And so they
totally.
all locked in their seats.
Yes, urgency and scarcity, you have to put that in there to get people to move. Totally. Okay. Now people were starting to get in. And then I know you posted, you're like, oh my gosh, I got my first sign up. And then you quickly updated. You're like, they're all 7 full. Did you
Right.
stop with 7? Do you have more than 7 and you opened up a second session? What did you do?
No, I stopped with 7.
Okay.
I literally, it kind of stopped itself and
Cool.
I didn't do any more only because I really wasn't sure like what I wanted to do next.
Mm,
And I was like, let me stop here. I didn't want to do any more discounted seats either.
yes,
So
good
I
point.
knew next I wanted to go full price with the
Love that.
next.
Okay. And because everybody's, I'm sure, wanting to know, it's an online preschool program. And what are your class times and tuition rates?
Class times are Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 to 6 o'clock. So they're 30-minute classes, live classes. And the founding member rates were $67.
Okay.
And so full price will be $227.
Ooh,
I
dang.
mean,
They got,
120,
I
sorry,
was going to say they got a
127.
real good deal.
127. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love that though. Okay, 2
Yeah.
days a week, a 30-minute session that's live.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Are we doing any pre-recorded add-ons or just all the other bonuses they get?
Pre-recorded add-ons 2
Cool.
a week.
Nice. Wow. So 2 lives, 2 pre-recordeds, plus of course all the bonuses you're going to give them in the hub.
Right.
Your substitute
Yes.
classes, your Spanish classes. That's amazing. And then it's 67 a month. Going to do 127 in the future. That's amazing. Well, what is next on your horizon? I mean, let's back up for 1 second. Could you ever imagine that like 3 weeks ago when you jumped on this, that you would have a class of 7 students and you're now an official preschool?
No, not this quickly. No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No.
Love that. Of course, it was in your vision to be this. Yes, of course. But
Yes.
as quickly as it did, well, it's because
Right.
you also did the work. I want to be very clear about that. It's only a system. The system is only as good as you work it, right? So you put in the work and you got results. And I'm so proud of you. That's amazing.
It's a great system though. It
Well,
is.
it helps you. It helps you definitely go a little bit faster. That is for sure. I love when people put in the work and get the results. So it's fantastic. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. If
Thank you,
anybody
Joy.
you're welcome. If anybody was on the fence, wondering if they should jump into Preschool AllStars, what would you say to them?
Oh, jump. I wish I did it earlier. Really.
But we're so glad that you're here now. Awesome. All right,
Thank
Teresa,
you.
thanks for being here. We'll see ya.
All right. Thanks. Bye.